Hi everyone, I'm Elsy Milan and I'm a first-year postgraduate researcher here at CEP. Today, I'll be walking you through my research titled Conceptualizing a Novel Policy Framework for De-risking Investments in CCUs and Blue Hydrogen for Decarbonising Hard-to-Abate Sectors. This research is conducted under the supervision of Dr. Bemi Olubeye. It is funded by the President's Scholarship. There's a major challenge that we should tackle: having effective policies that drive down the cost of CCS to decarbonize end-use sectors. Today, these policies remain insufficient or potentially absent. In that context, my research will focus on three questions. First, what are the current policies for CCS uptake, and are they effective in creating a demand pool? Second, how can a market be upscaled through policy interventions for different countries and sectors? Third, how can uncertainty be accounted for and communicated in determining the tipping point for policy interventions, and timeline? To do this research, I will be developing a participatory spatial-temporal market penetration optimization framework. And that is done by first collecting data from trustworthy sources and international agencies. Two, conducting current market-based policy evaluation. We look at the policies and we assess if they are present and equitably efficient. Third, we formulate our problem. Then we build our simulation model to finally come up with a noble policy framework design that is both effective on the national and international level. A few methods have been developed to evaluate the effectiveness of these policies. For example, the Argonne National Laboratory developed a model that looked at the cost of CO2 mitigation in ammonia production, but did not really talk about CCUS. On the other hand, the LEAP and Markle models enable the integration of economic, energy, and environmental analysis, allowing policymakers and researchers to evaluate long-term impacts of policies, in addition to taking into account cost variations. But they were not sector-specific. I noticed that governments present distinctive policy mechanisms tailored first to their economic models, and these were put there to accelerate the deployment of CCS and ammonia. For example, while the Americas were proponent of carbon taxes on storage, the EU and its partners were more in favor of the emission trading systems. Cap on emissions were more or less high in Europe, while tax credit for enhanced oil recovery and tax credit for storage were only present in the Americas, more specifically in the US. While on a global scale, these policies to adequately drive down the cost of CCS in ammonia are efficient, there are discrepancies that are observed on the national level. And countries with effective policies cannot alone create a demand pool. My progress so far, and this is my poster. You can also find an accessible version of this poster that meets our Imperial College criteria, as well as a QR code where we can connect together and make the world cooler.